studies. What a great way to learn what's left out of the mainstream curriculum. Ethnic studies. What a fine road to take that treats learning as much more than peplum. Ethnic studies, with its focus on dignity, inquiry, and real respect for the lives and the songs and the stories and culture too often ignored or turned back. Ethnic studies make scholars of students who otherwise slip through the system's wide cracks. Raza studies, Tom Horn and John Rubenthal and Russell Pierce have it cockeyed. They're the powers who've projected their own hate and bigotry onto a teaching guide. Raza studies teaches multiple lenses for viewing the world as it is. What a gift from the teachers at TUSD who breathe life into subjects thought dead. What a gift for the students whose lives have been altered through studies that tap heart and head. What a gift for us all who value diversity and want all ignorance shed.
Here's some of the things that are in 2281. It's kind of shocking in the perverse way that they've actually legislated against themselves. They just don't know it, but we're going to explain it to them. So it starts out by saying, the legislature finds and declares that public school pupils should be taught to treat and value each other as individuals and not be taught to resent or hate other races or classes of people. So let's just take out the middle part of that and just say the legislature should not be taught to resent or hate other races or classes of people. You understand what I'm saying? They want to prevent racism, resentment, hatred. They're manifesting racism, resentment, and hatred. They're practicing what they want to ban others from doing. In other words, they want a monopoly on hate. Is that what it is? They want to control it themselves. Then it goes on to say, this part is great, you know, the 4 things that are specifically banned. I love the first one, that you can't teach anything that promotes the overthrow of the United States government. Just throw that one out there first to make sure everybody's terrorism reflexes come online, you know? Like, let's put that out there to start with. What does that have to do with anything, right? How is that even related to ethnic studies? But let's start with that just to get people scared, because fear is a very big part of this whole thing. Second, you can't teach anything that promotes resentment toward a race or class of people. As I've said, the legislature is doing precisely that. Third, you can't teach anything that's designed primarily for pupils of a particular ethnic group. Now, this could actually be one that might be useful to have because it would essentially undermine the entire mainstream Eurocentric social studies curriculum, right? You can't teach any kind of history that's designed primarily for students of a particular ethnic group. In other words, you can't teach the unspoken but completely biased Eurocentric white history at all. The one that they don't tell you is biased because it's the normal one. They're practicing ethno-normativity, right? Where the standard version is not inflected with any resentment or bias. It's just the way things went down. No. It's a completely biased history. So maybe that provision we could keep in and use it to knock out the whole mainstream curriculum. And then finally, you can't teach anything that advocates ethnic solidarity instead of the treatment of pupils as individuals. Now, I always learned that solidarity was a good thing. In fact, back in the old Union days, they used to sing songs about it, like Solidarity Forever, right? I mean, it's a good thing. It's a positive value. It's not something that should ever be discouraged among people. Well, if you don't follow these rules, schools can lose up to 10% of their funding and have other penalties brought to bear. So they're actually going to try to hit the purse strings here. And then finally, it ends with, there's other provisions about disciplinary proceedings, but the substantive part, it ends with saying, nothing in this section shall be construed to restrict or prohibit the instruction of the Holocaust, any other instance of genocide, or the historical oppression of a particular group of people based on ethnicity, race, or class. So here's an exception to the prohibitions I just mentioned, that you can teach about genocide and oppression. In other words, if people want to wallow in oppression and remembrances of genocide, that's fine. But if you want to celebrate your identity in solidarity and with pride, that's not okay. You can learn the part of history that allows you to further internalize oppression by remembering that part of the story. But you cannot access any part of it that might empower or suggest a positive reading of your history. I mean, that's a remarkable, thing, and it's right there in black and white in this bill. It's not even subtle. They're not even trying to hide what their intentions are.
Spirituals and hymns for hers and hymns and in betweens this verse is dispersed to divert the hurt, dreams and feelings and healing. I am not. You and I, verse created willing. With each and every verse, my soul is spilling. 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 That's why I do epidemic, panic, music, dust for rich. That's how I manage this to read. I scare and terror. I speak solution, others speak of error. I speak in whippery, others speak Paul Bearer. I speak power to the people, others speak power of statements fairer. I speak of dreams you want to see, others speak night terrors. I speak of hope, revolution, resolution, others speak complacency, they just don't care. I speak from my soul to your soul, mind full of what's said. Won't sell out no matter who's collecting the toll. This is whole lot in part, you get on me. My soul and heart and my art and my fire's first spark. Until the flame burns out in the dark. In the dark. In the dark.
What is Chicano history? What are Chicano studies? Because Chicano studies were born from movement, from action, from the political demand for justice, for the political demand for equality. It was not a vacuum. It was not an empty search for truth. It was truth with that goal. It has been community that has kept us alive. And those values, the values of community, are an incredible threat because unity gives voice, and it's a voice that cannot be silenced. Because Chicano studies is action, but in dialectic with thought. It is not meaningless action. It is action with a goal for justice, for equality, for freedom.
So what does our future look like? I don't have the answer, but I know that we need to stop working for a movement of the masses and start uniting those of us willing to fight for human rights. We need to unite those first responders willing to be there for families when tragedy strikes. I also know that it comes down to educating ourselves, our parents, and our future generations. Lastly, it comes down to our teachers. I hope that if anything, my story helps you look at the students who sit in front of your class every day with compassion. I hope that you recognize your privilege as teachers. I hope that you can see that our youth carry problems and sometimes generational struggles on their backs, and nobody ever stops to ask why. Most of all, I hope you join our fight to save ethnic studies and start giving our youth hope and strength to carry on in this state. Undocumented, unafraid. Thank you.
Del amor not. You and I, verse created willing. With each and every verse, my soul is spilling. 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 That's why I do epidemic, panic, music, dust for rich. That's how I manage this terrain. I scare and terror. I speak solution, others speak of error. I speak in whippery, others speak Paul Bearer. I speak power to make people, others speak power of statements fairer. I speak of dreams you want to see, others speak night terrors. I speak of hope, revolution, resolution, others speak complacency, they just don't care. I speak from my soul to your soul, mind full of what's said. Won't sell out no matter who's collecting the toll. This is whole, not in part, you get on me. My soul and heart and my art from my fire's first spark. Until the flame burns out in the dark. In the dark. In the dark. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on, keep on. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking and keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on, keep on. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it. Keep on, keep on. Keep on rocking, keep it knocking out it.